Once again, welcome to our Essential Chakras 101 class. Today we're going to be focusing on the root and navel chakras. And even before we get into the root and navel chakras, we're going to give you a little bit of understanding about the chakras and energy in general, so that when you're trying to work on these energy centers, you kind of know a little bit of background. So background about us.
Hello, my name is Rachel again. And I am a social media guru, so I coach businesses on helping them with their social media presence. And I'm also a creative aromatherapist with Young Living Essential Oils.
And I'm Ilona Pamplona. I am a certified holistic health coach. I'm also a certified color reader. For more information on that, contact me later. And I'm also a Young Living independent essential oil distributor. So let's get metaphysical here, guys and ladies. Vibes, the good, bad, and the transformational. So before we get started on the chakra specifically, I kind of want to give everyone a background on energy in general. So I once watched this wonderful movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? And they were talking about how quantum physicists were trying to make the atom tangible, but the more they magnify it, the more it wasn't tangible. So they defined it as a highly concentrated thought. And in a lot of metaphysical studies and New Age studies, you'll find that thoughts affect our energy. In fact, our energy can be measured. One negative thought has been shown to lower your frequency 12 megahertz, and one positive thought has been shown to raise your frequency 10 megahertz. So if you think about this, I mean, one negative thought, you need two positive thoughts just to counteract that negative thought. Remember, everything that you bring into your mind will affect your energy, will affect your outcomes.
Awesome. So to get a little bit, talk a little bit about the actual measurement. You can literally measure frequency in megahertz. So the healthy human body has a frequency that sits in a range between 62 to 68 megahertz. Sickness and disease begins to kick in at 58 megahertz. So that's why it's so important to practice these modalities we're going to be sharing with you guys to raise your frequency and raise your vibes. Essential oils were found to have the highest frequency of any natural substance known to man. And there's no coincidence that rose is associated with love, and there's definitely a message for us there. I also want to share with you guys this study that was done between two males. They both were measured, they had this frequency measure, they're both measured at 66 megahertz. The first male picked up a cup of coffee, not drinking it, and within 3 seconds, his frequency dropped to 58 megahertz, so from 66 to 58. And like we said before, sickness and disease begins to kick in at 58 megahertz. Mm-hmm. He then inhaled the aroma from an essential oil, and his frequency had gone back up to 66 megahertz within 21 seconds. So it literally takes 21 seconds for an essential oil to raise your vibe. So if you're ever feeling blue or feeling a little bit down, go grab a bottle of Young Living essential oils. The second test subject picked up the same cup of coffee and he sipped it. So the first person didn't sip it, he was just holding it, and it lowered his frequency just by holding it. And the second person sipped the coffee, and his frequency dropped to 52 megahertz in 3 seconds. However, in this case, he did not use essential oils, and it took him 3 days for his frequency to return back to 66 megahertz. So that's kind of dangerous. He was pretty low for those 3 days. And it's kind of interesting that coffee raises your energy temporarily with the caffeine, but it lowers your frequency, your vibration, your vibrational energy. So clearly our frequency is affected by other substances in substantial ways. The study also looked at the effect of positive and negative thoughts on our frequency. Negative thoughts were were found to lower the human frequency by about 12 megahertz. Positive thoughts raise frequency by 10 megahertz. And prayer and meditation raise frequency by 15 megahertz. So if you're ever feeling blue, maybe say a little mantra or a prayer. And we're going to be sharing with you guys some affirmations you can use in your everyday life. Really, really simple ones. So awesome.
Okay, so this is just, Rachel, maybe a little example of the essential oil frequencies?
Yep. Essential oils with a frequency under 78 megahertz will work on balancing the physical structure of the body. So a lot of people love to start, when they apply oils, they love to start with Valor, because Valor has the same frequency as bone. So in order to kind of prep the body, not shock the body with the super high frequency like rose or Idaho blue spruce, you might want to prep the body with some Valor. While those at a higher frequency, such as rose and frankincense, will work at the emotional and spiritual levels. So when you inhale an essential oil, it directly affects the amygdala in the brain, where our memories and emotions are stored and released. So this is a quick little guide. It's a good reference if you guys want to screenshot this, or if you want us to, we could post this in the Facebook group so you guys can see it at a later time.
Yeah.
It's a great resource.
Yeah, we'll share this with the group page later on so everyone can refer to this. Awesome. So let's raise your vibes. Holy shift. Let's talk about these chakras. All right. So here's a depiction of the chakras, and you'll see them starting at the root at the bottom. And so in the chakra system, we usually talk about going from the root up. So the first one is the root chakra, symbolized by the color red, followed by the navel chakra, also known as the sacral chakra, depicted by the color orange. Solar plexus, you could see it's right above your belly button, but right under your heart. And that's depicted in the color yellow or gold, depending on who's speaking. We've got the heart chakra, which is typically depicted in green, but sometimes can also be depicted in pink for the feminine aspects of the heart chakra, or green for the masculine aspects of the heart chakra. We've got blue for the throat chakra, purple for the third eye chakra, and for the crown chakra, you've got this other version of purple, indigo, and sometimes you'll see it represented in gold or silver. Now, these chakras, what are chakras? They're basically energy centers. And if you were to look at someone from the crown down, the way the chakras are typically said to be represented are like spinning fans. So when you have a healthy flow, or your chakra is balanced, it'll be in the vibrant color that it's depicted in. So for example, the root will be a beautiful ruby with a white glow, and navel will be a beautiful orange with a white glow, etc. But when your chakra is not working well, which is usually closing up or slowing down, you'll see it typically represented as a dark or muddy color. So what we're going to show you here for the root and navel chakra and for the rest of the series are how to keep those energy centers flowing, and also to keep them balanced. Sometimes as we're going through the series, you may realize that you have a chakra that's super overly expressed. Now, overexpression is not necessarily a bad thing, but what that may represent is that you have an imbalance in another chakra because you're overexpressing in one, which means you may not be expressing sufficiently in another chakra. Sounds good?
Awesome.
So let's talk about the root chakra. So emotionally, the root chakra has special topics. So specifically, we're talking about physical family, your tribe, this idea of tribe and belonging to a group, to community. So for those of you who already have a New Agey background, we're not talking about your spirit family. We're literally talking about the family that you're born into, the community that you're born into, the tribe that you're born into. It has to do with safety and security. providing for your needs, not only for yourself, but for life. So often this also means people. So if any of y'all have trouble or worries about money and career, that's your root chakra speaking to you. Standing up for yourself. And because of this idea of family and tribes, this also has to do a lot with honor codes and superstitions that typically come associated with family and tribes. So now we've got an exercise for you. Before we start this exercise, I want everyone on this Google Hangout, I want you to focus on one of these bullets on this emotional chart. I want you to think long and hard, for really concentrate on it. And Rachel is going to lead you through an exercise. Rachel, take it away.
Thanks, Ilona. Thanks for explaining that. So I picked an essential oil. If you guys have essential oils nearby, or if you want to run and grab one out of your purse, I picked the one Abundance. That one might be a good one to help provide for your needs financially, or if any kind of abundance that you want. Your root chakra is really good for abundance is a really good one for your root chakra. So, but you can grab any essential oil, and we can put a drop in our hands, and we're going to rub our hands together. We're going to close our eyes while we're focusing on the one point that really resonated with us. And we're going to cup our nose and take a big inhale through our nose. And if you don't have an essential oil nearby, just go through the motions and just think of what you want to focus on
from this list.
And we're going to take a series of 3 breaths. Just keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just follow your own breath. It doesn't have to be forced. And just concentrate on that bullet point from this list that resonated with you. You can think about how it made you feel. You could think of an example, maybe some scenario or an experience that came to your mind that, that this prompted that experience or that a memory in your head. So as you exhale your last breath, we're going to move on. So root chakra imbalances can be expressed in either an emotional or in a physical way. I know a lot of people, who tend to have lower back pain. Usually they're either not feeling supported, whether that's an emotional or whether it's a financial support. Usually a physical body, your base spine or your lumbar, your lower back might be, some sort of pain there, might feel, that might be an indication of a root chakra imbalance. It could be related to your legs or your bones, or maybe you have some, veins, like some circulation problems. And it's interesting that, you could correlate it to, you might be able to correlate it to something else, like, oh, I have this because of this. Like, oh, I have lower back pain because I'm sitting all day or I'm driving all day. However, there might be a secondary explanation. It could be a root chakra imbalance. Maybe you have sore feet. Maybe are you standing all day? Maybe you're in uncomfortable shoes all day. That could be it. And it could also as well be a root chakra imbalance. Root chakra imbalances also are expressed in your digestive system, and you could possibly have some sort of imbalance with your rectum, your colon. Either it's expressed in constipation or diarrhea, and it's also, your root chakra is also close to where your immune system is. So maybe you don't have such a good immune system. Maybe you get sick often, or maybe you get some sort of symptoms that would explain that your immune system isn't so strong. Or maybe there's some emotional issues there. Maybe you have some feelings of revenge or depression.
Yep. So thank you, Rachel. So now that you all know where these emotional imbalances are represented in your body, you're probably wondering, oh my goodness, that's me. How do I fix this? How do I work with this? Well, luckily, There's so many ways to balance your root chakra. And color is so pivotal. So when we're talking about frequencies, frequencies are not just the energy that we carry or the oils, but frequency can be found in so many things. For example, anything, so root chakra, remember I said it's the color red. So we definitely, to balance the chakra, if you're under expressing this chakra, you want to invoke or bring in the color red into your life. You may or may not have seen me in the beginning of this webinar, but I'm wearing my red lipstick in representation of this root chakra. So there are stones, and by stones I mean crystals, natural stones. So quartzes and natural gemstones carry a vibrational frequency, and red ones carry the vibrational frequency of the root chakra. So we're talking rubies, we're talking garnets, we're talking red agate, just to name a few. Wearing red clothes, we're talking before about safety and security, and also kind of standing up for yourself. And often when people are going into an interview or they're going into a meeting where they want to be represented, so many people wear red to a meeting. It's because they realize that this color, even just wearing it, will help raise your vibrational frequency so that your root chakra is expressed correctly. Foods. So foods, not only in the color red, so we're talking beets and right now cherries and apples, but we're also thinking of grounding foods with roots that come from the ground. So you're also talking about foods that come from the ground, like carrots and potatoes, just to name a few. And on top of that, we can also create mantras that will help balance the energy in this chakra. And since the chakra often represents safety, security, career, and money, an example of a mantra for the root chakra is, I release all fears of money and safety. My needs are met at each moment. I am safe and loved. So once again, we'll be posting this on YouTube. So if you ever want to use this specific mantra, or you want to create a mantra of your own, we'll be posting this later for your reference. So now, what oils? You may be asking, but tell me about the oils. Rachel, what oils are great for healing the chakra?
Awesome. That was awesome, Alona. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, and one that we forgot to mention is grounding. Young Living does have a grounding essential oil, which is really great. You can apply it to your root chakra or your feet, and that's a great one. And then the other oils that are grounding is, the first one is basil. So I was applying that. I have some basil right here. I have this in a roll-on, and I actually added a bunch of other oils in here from the Raindrop massage technique kit. So there's basil, there's oregano and thyme, and marjoram, cypress, and I believe wintergreen and peppermint. I put all those in here. I don't know if I'm missing one, but basil has a strong and spicy aroma. It's invigorating, and it brings a sense of balance, and it calms the mind. So if you ever feel like, your mind is scattered, or you feel like all over the place, basil and grounding and these other essential oils are gonna just, kind of bring all those thoughts back all together and just ground you back into yourself. And it is one of the oils included in the Young Living Raindrop technique. And that's a great kit with a bunch of amazing oils that you use with specific massage techniques. And then Helichrysum has a clarifying, stimulating, grounding fragrance, and it makes it great to diffuse while studying or doing homework. It's also a great one for circulation. It's really good for the blood. So like we said before, if you have an imbalance related to, your veins or poor circulation, Helichrysum is going to be a great one to help balance your root chakra. You can apply Helichrysum topically to improve the appearance of tender skin. And it's a great ingredient. Helichrysum is one of the main ingredients in Awaken, Brain Power, Deep Relief, Forgiveness, Panaway, and Trauma Life. So those are all really beautiful blends that can all help you experience helichrysum. The next one is elemi, which has a spicy incense-like scent, and it's soft and somewhat balsamic. It's the member of the same botanical family as frankincense and myrrh, and it's been used traditionally in Europe for the skin. It's highly regarded for reducing the look of fine lines and wrinkles, skin support, and soothing muscles after exercise. Elemi is known as the poor man's frankincense. So if you didn't get the promotion this month, if you didn't get your free frankincense, or if you want to get some more frankincense after the starter kit, but if you want to save some money, elemi is a good alternative to frankincense. And the next one is marjoram, which is also one of the ones from the raindrop technique. It has a woodsy, spicy, calming aroma. It's a very calming oil. It has a warming effect on both the body and the mind. It soothes tense muscles after exercise, and it's beneficial for occasional simple nervous tension, and it can be used for cooking. So marjoram is a great one for, especially in the winter time, because it is so warming. I like to say marjoram is good for muscles, marjoram muscles. That's a good way to remember it. If you ever have any sort of like tense muscles, I know in the summertime I love to use peppermint for any sort of like tension in my body, but you might not want to use peppermint on your skin in the winter because it might make you really cold, and your body's going to already be cold to begin with in the winter. So marjoram is a good alternative to peppermint or deep relief or panaway, any of the minty oils that you might use in the summer. You might want to switch to marjoram in the winter time because it'll warm your body and keep you nice and comforted. And clove, it promotes a healthy immune response. So like we said before, people who have weak immune system, that could be an indication of a root chakra imbalance. So clove would be great for that. Clove has been used traditionally as a spice for thousands of years and provides a rich and spicy addition to your favorite recipes. It's great for cooking with or making teas. It's also an important ingredient in lots of Young Living products like Thieves, Immune Power, Inner Defense, and Longevity. And last one, the one that I used for our little meditation before, is Abundance. Abundance is created to enhance the frequency of a harmonic magnetic energy field that surrounds us. This higher frequency creates what's called the law of attraction, which refers to the things we attract to ourselves, things, experiences. And abundance opens us to a wealth of possibilities. I wore this today. I put some on my root chakra, and I put a little bit in my necklace, and I had a really wonderful thing happen to me today, and I definitely think it was because I wore abundance oil.
Woohoo! I'm just going to add one more oil that I really love, which is also for abundance, which is Egyptian gold, which is what I'm diffusing in my diffuser necklace, and that also resonates at an abundant level. So love my Young Living essential oils.
Awesome.
So just kind of a recap on the root chakra. If you feel like you are abundant, you're safe in your family, you have, you feel grounded and rooted in a community, then your root chakra is probably well expressed. And everything that we just recapped here are for those who feel that your root chakra is out of balance. Now we're going to go into the navel chakra, aka the sacral chakra. This is located right at your navel, so your belly button. So if you put your hands right over your belly button, this is where you find the sacral chakra, the navel chakra. So emotionally, so this is, in this band of your body, this is where you find your reproductive organs. So emotionally tied to sexuality, power and control, creativity, but also blame, guilt, and ethics. Ironically, so it is 11/11 today, which is a high vibes day, and we're in a new moon under Scorpio. So I thought it was very timely that we're talking about the navel chakra today, because we are in the sign of Scorpio, and each zodiac sign has a part of the body that it rules, it rules the reproductive organs. So any Scorpios out there, if you have navel chakra imbalances, we're here for you today. So what does this look like? What does, so once again, we're going to go through this exercise again so that you can start feeling your chakras. I want you to pick something from this particular group here. So if you feel like, your sexuality, power and control, creativity, blame or guilt, or ethics is something that pops out to you, I want you to start focusing on those words. What does this mean to you? Are you representing it well? And Rachel's going to lead you through our next exercise to kind of see if you can scan your chakra.
Awesome. So the next one I'm going to use peace and calming. You can use peace and calming, harmony, orange, inner child, forgiveness, ylang ylang. Any of those. If you don't have any of those, grab anything you have, or grab whichever one you feel most attracted to, or most, one that's resonating with you the most right now.
Just to let you know, I've got orange with me. Once again, one thing that I didn't cover is that the navel chakra, once again, it's represented by the color orange. And so orange is the one I got right here.
Awesome. Cool. Yes, you guys could grab orange, or again, whatever oil that you feel speaks to you right now. So we're going to pick one of the bullets on the list that we feel is resonating with us right now at this moment. We're going to close our eyes, and we're going to breathe in the essential oil we just applied, or just go through the motions. And we're just going to take a deep breath through our nose, out through our mouth, and repeat this 3 times at your own pace. Don't rush, don't try to force it, and just keep concentrating on that bullet that you picked. Just think about how it makes you feel, what emotions come up. Don't try to push them away, just let them come up and let them pass as they pass. Maybe think of an experience or a memory or a scenario that might be an example of one of the bullets that you picked, and just sit with any emotions that might arise.
Okay.
Awesome. So, like we said before, explaining some of the imbalances, these are some of the ones that correspond to the navel chakra. So, you might be experiencing some sort of sciatica. You might be experiencing some sort of imbalance in your reproductive area. So maybe if you're, I know it's very prominent in women nowadays, is the polycystic ovarian syndrome. Maybe you have some sort of cysts or anything going on in your feminine area. For men, it would be your spleen. So if you ever had a ruptured spleen or any sort of inflammation in that area, or maybe you're experiencing infertility, or any sort of pelvic low back pains. Again, what I said before, maybe if you feel discomfort in your lower back, you could be attributing to any other factor in your life, or it could be an indication of a navel chakra imbalance. Maybe you have reoccurring UTIs. Maybe you have reoccurring, either kidney stones or any sort of bladder problems. Those would all be some physical expressions of a navel chakra imbalance, and some emotional or spiritual expressions of a navel chakra imbalance would be a creative block, writer's block, or any sort of feeling of not being able to go forward. Or maybe you have some sort of addiction. And addiction isn't always something taboo or something like illegal. It could just be an addiction to sugar or food, or addiction to TV, something that's totally accepted in our society and something that we can make light about. Or maybe it's addiction to thrill seeking, always trying to catch that next high. Or anything that, an addiction is anything that takes you out of the present moment. So maybe you're not totally content with where you are in your everyday life.
We're good?
Yep. Oh, I think it just went. Yep, now it's a full screen. Awesome. We're good. Next slide.
So how do we balance these chakras? Once again, color. Color, and we're talking about the color orange. So stones, once again, we're talking, anything in the color orange. Like right now, for once again, I'm thinking orange jasper, orange color clothes, and of course foods. We're talking orange color foods like oranges, tangerines, pumpkins, orange squash. And what was it?
Sweet potatoes.
Oh, sweet potatoes. That's right. Who can't forget a nice sweet potato?
Cheetos.
Oh, no Cheetos. Those are low vibes, low vibrational frequency, those Cheetos. They're artificial, guys. You want real foods. Definitely keep with those citrus and the, things from the ground. And one of the things is orange is so fresh, and it just is invigorating and really helps you express yourself on that creative side of the chakra. Once again, this has to do with power and control. So we want to, mantra-wise, release all fears of power and control. And we want to say that I accept and allow my power to flow through me. You want your chakras to be open. You want the energy to rise from your root all the way through your crown. So it's important to keep these open. And when you're doing these mantras, imagining the energy flowing through each and every one of these chakras. So when we're talking about our essential oils, Rachel.
Thanks, Ilona. So like I said before, Peace and Calming is one that has orange and tangerine in it. This is a great one to help you just to recenter. It also has ylang ylang, patchouli, and blue tansy. It's comforting. It helps to freshen the air. It's great to diffuse and create a calming and peaceful atmosphere throughout the home. It's a must-have for every household, especially those with children. So this is for people with children. And another one that's not on the list, your mantra just helped me think of it. Release essential oil is for releasing those negative emotions, and then acceptance. Acceptance essential oil for accepting the things that you cannot change, those things that are out of your control, and just knowing and accepting that you can't control anything else except your own emotions and your own actions and your own thoughts. And the next one is Harmony. It's an exquisite blend that promotes physical and emotional well-being by bringing harmonic balance to the energy centers of the body. I'm making up words. This liberating, balancing, and calming essential oils in this blend opens us up to new possibilities while contributing to an overall feeling of well-being. So if you feel a little discord, Harmony will help bring you all back together.
Yeah.
And like Ilona said before, orange essential oil is awesome. It contains an antioxidant called limonene. It's also a wonderful addition to enhance the flavor of foods and drinks. You can add it to water or tea, or you can add it to salad dressing, and you eat all those delicious orange foods. And then Inner Child is also a great one with different citrus oils in it. Inner Child helps to open the pathways to connecting with the inner self that may have been damaged through childhood misuse or abuse. When children have been abused, they've become disconnected from their natural identity or their inner child. This causes confusion and can contribute to undesirable personality traits. The sweet fragrance of Inner Child can stimulate memory response and help you to reconnect with your authentic self, which is one of the first steps toward finding emotional balance. So I really love to listen to Louise Hay when I ever feel an imbalance, or if I ever feel, out of whack with myself. And Louise Hay is a beautiful speaker and motivator, and she always talks about affirmations, and she always talks about seeing yourself as a little child, and just envision yourself hugging yourself and telling yourself, I love you, I accept you, and I'm here for you, and everything's going to be okay. And you can take that little child and put it in your heart, and you can talk to him or her whenever you want to, and comfort him or her whenever you want. And it helps you to stop beating up on yourself all the time. And forgiveness oil is a soothing and uplifting blend of essential oils that may enhance the ability to release hurtful memories and move beyond emotional barriers, especially what we were talking about before with the creative blocks. This process of growth can only proceed when we have the ability to forgive and let go of negative emotions. And there's a book, it's the Miracles book. What's that book called, Ilona?
May Cause Miracles?
No, there's another Miracles book.
A Course in Miracles?
A Course in Miracles, yeah. In that book, they speak that all disease stems from unforgiveness. And whenever you have a chronic disease or any sort of imbalance in your body, there's usually someone that you have to forgive. And always remember that unforgiveness hurts ourselves more than it hurts the other person. It actually doesn't hurt the other person at all. But unforgiveness only hurts ourselves. So you don't have to physically forgive the person. You can forgive them in your own heart. It helps you to release the past, and it helps you to move on. And ylang ylang essential oil has a rich, pleasing, and romantic floral scent. It's good for calming and relaxing. You can massage it into the scalp or it'll help to increase the appearance of healthy, shiny hair. And it's found in many of the Young Living skincare and hair care products. And it's also in essential oil blends like Awaken, Believe, Clarity, Dragon Time, Peace and Calming, and Forgiveness.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
So everyone, I hope y'all are still online. That was our last slide for this presentation. Our next session is on the solar plexus. You definitely don't want to miss out on this one, because I've been talking to a lot of people and they definitely have, I see a common core thread of solar plexus. Not enough expression of the solar plexus. That's going to be on Monday, November 23rd at 9 p.m.
Awesome.
We're going to open it up in a second to questions and answers. But if you have any questions and you want to contact us personally, you can direct message us on email